Let's begin with a simple but powerful truth. Trading is not just about charts, strategies, or technical analysis. It's about you, the human sitting behind the screen. Too often, traders believe their failures come from bad systems, poor entries, or the wrong indicators. But in reality, many blow-ups in trading accounts don't happen because the markets are unbeatable. They happen because the trader themselves has been silently sabotaged by their own lifestyle choices. And I want to take you deep into this today, because while you're busy tweaking strategies, hunting new setups, or trying to outsmart the market, there might be invisible forces at play. Forces that erode your clarity, weaken your discipline, and cloud your judgment. The silent saboteurs. Now, let me start with a story because sometimes stories teach us better than theory. There was a trader named Daniel. Daniel had been trading for 5 years. He knew his way around moving averages, Fibonacci retracements, and candlestick signals. He had a solid strategy that had been backtested and even paper traded successfully. But when real money was on the line, Daniel kept losing. What was strange was that his charts looked fine. His risk-to-reward ratios were logical. But when it came to execution, he hesitated. He second-guessed. He cut winners short and let losers run. And over time, his account drained slowly, painfully. Daniel thought he had a trading problem. But in reality, he had a lifestyle problem. He was averaging 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. His diet was mostly fast food and caffeine. Stress? That was a daily companion. And because of this, when he sat at his trading desk, he wasn't actually trading. He was fighting against fatigue, sugar crashes, and anxiety, without even realizing it. His edge wasn't lost in the markets. It was lost in his habits. Now contrast Daniel with someone else. Let's call her Maya. Maya was also a trader. She wasn't necessarily more talented, and her strategy was nothing revolutionary. But she had structure. She slept 7 to 8 hours a night. She worked out 3 times a week. She ate foods that fueled her brain, not ones that slowed it down. And when she sat down to trade, she was sharp, calm, and resilient. Over time, Maya's account grew consistently. Not because she had some secret indicator, but because she had discipline not just in her trades, but in her life. The market didn't just reward her skill. It rewarded her lifestyle. This is what I want you to see today. Your daily habits are the hidden tax on your trades, or the hidden multiplier of your edge. And once you understand this, you'll realize that your biggest edge isn't in the charts. It's in yourself. Let's dig in. Think about the first silent saboteur, sleep deprivation. How many times have you stayed up late? Maybe scrolling, maybe binge-watching, maybe overanalyzing charts, only to wake up groggy the next day. And yet, you still sat in front of the market, thinking you could push through with a cup of coffee. Here's what science says. Even one night of poor sleep can impair your decision-making to the same level as being legally drunk. Imagine that. You wouldn't trade drunk, but you'll trade sleep-deprived, which neurologically is almost the same. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, discipline, and planning, is one of the first areas to get compromised when you're low on sleep. That's why a tired trader cuts winners short. That's why they hold onto losers, hoping they'll turn around. That's why they jump into impulsive trades without waiting for confirmation. It's not because they're undisciplined people. It's because their brain is literally handicapped. Sleep is also critical for emotional regulation. Ever notice how much more irritable, anxious, or impatient you are after a bad night? In trading, that irritability translates into FOMO entries, revenge trades, and emotional exits. And here's the hidden danger. You don't always notice it. Unlike a broken indicator or a bad internet connection, sleep deprivation doesn't scream at you. It silently taxes every decision you make, shaving down your edge until your account bleeds without explanation. So ask yourself, are you trading at your best? Or are you trading half asleep, trying to outthink markets when your own brain is lagging? Now let's move to the second saboteur, poor nutrition. Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's energy. That means what you eat directly impacts how well you trade. Let's take an example. You're midday in the markets, energy fading, so you grab a sugary snack, maybe a donut, maybe a can of soda. Within minutes, you feel alive again. Focus sharpens. Your mind feels switched on. But then, an hour later, you crash. Your blood sugar plummets, your brain fogs, and suddenly, that breakout you were watching passes by without you even realizing. This isn't just theory. Studies show unstable blood sugar makes people more impulsive, more impatient, and more prone to risk-taking. Sound familiar? That's the exact opposite of what you need as a trader. And yet, many traders fuel themselves on caffeine, sugar, and junk food. They mistake stimulation for energy. But stimulation is short-term. It spikes you and crashes you. Energy, real energy, comes from consistent fuel. Complex carbs, lean proteins, healthy fats, and hydration. Have you ever thought about why professional chess players or esports gamers pay attention to their diet? Because they know the brain is the real battleground. Trading is no different. You're not fueling muscles here. You're fueling neurons. If your meals leave you sluggish, irritable, or foggy, that's not just a health problem. That's a trading problem. And then there's the third saboteur, stress and anxiety. Trading is inherently stressful. Money is on the line. Uncertainty is constant. Losses are unavoidable. But add chronic stress on top of that, and you're setting yourself up for emotional disaster. Here's how it works. Stress releases cortisol and adrenaline. In small doses, these hormones sharpen you. They get you ready for fight or flight. But in chronic doses, they wreck your system. They shorten your patience, hijack your discipline, and make every red candle feel like the end of the world. An anxious trader doesn't see opportunities. They see threats. Every small dip feels catastrophic. Every sideways movement feels like betrayal. And because of that, they don't follow plans. They react emotionally. It's not the market that beat them. It's their own stress response. So many traders think they need better strategies when, in fact, what they need is stress management. Now that we've seen the silent saboteurs, let's talk solutions. One of the most powerful tools you can give yourself is a daily blueprint. A structured way of living that protects your edge, primes your focus, and builds resilience before you even open your charts. Start with the morning. The worst way to begin a trading day is to roll out of bed and straight into the market. You're uncentered, reactive, and still half asleep. The best traders prime themselves before they face volatility. How? It doesn't need to be complicated. Drink a glass of water before you touch coffee. Get your body moving, even if it's 5 minutes of stretching or a quick walk. Take a moment of clarity, journaling, reviewing your trading plan, or simply setting an intention. Today, I will follow my rules. That simple structure tells your brain, I'm prepared. I'm ready. And when the market opens, you're already one step ahead. Throughout the day, build in breaks. Your brain doesn't run on endless focus. It works in cycles, about 90 minutes of deep focus, then it dips. If you push through that dip, mistakes creep in. That's when you start forcing trades, hesitating, or overanalyzing. So step away. Take 5 or 10 minutes to reset. Walk, stretch, breathe. Traders think they're losing time by breaking, but in reality, they're regaining clarity. And then there's the evening. What you do before bed sets up tomorrow's performance. If you're scrolling endlessly, staring at charts late into the night, you're robbing yourself of quality sleep. Instead, cut screens an hour before bed. Read something light. Meditate. Write down what you learned from the day, not just in trading, but in life. That's how you close your mental books. And when you wake up the next day, you're refreshed, not still carrying yesterday's baggage. But let's zoom even deeper, fueling the trading machine. Think of your brain like the engine of a sports car. You wouldn't pour low-grade fuel into a Ferrari. So why fuel your brain with junk? Brain-boosting foods matter. Omega-3 fats from fish or walnuts. Complex carbs from oats, sweet potatoes, or brown rice. Proteins like eggs, chicken, or beans. Leafy greens for vitamins and minerals. And let's not forget hydration. Even 2% dehydration can impair focus and reaction time. That's tiny, and yet most traders live on coffee, ignoring water. If you're irritable at the screen, ask yourself, am I upset about the trade, or am I just dehydrated? You'd be surprised how often it's the second. Now let's talk caffeine. Caffeine is a tool, but many traders misuse it. They drink cup after cup, chasing stimulation. But too much caffeine leads to jittery hands, racing thoughts, and crashes during critical trading hours. The best traders respect caffeine. They use it strategically, not desperately. They balance it with hydration and steady meals. They don't let their fuel become their saboteur. Now, the mind-body connection. Trading isn't just mental, it's physical. Mindfulness is key, not in a mystical way but in a practical way. Before you enter a trade, pause. Take one slow breath in, one slow breath out. Ask yourself, am I following my plan or my emotions? That 5-second pause can save you hours of regret. Exercise is another powerful tool. It's not about sculpting your body, it's about sculpting your brain chemistry. Exercise reduces stress hormones, improves memory, sharpens focus, and builds resilience. Think of traders as athletes of the mind. Athletes train their bodies to perform under pressure. Traders must train their lifestyles to perform under uncertainty. And then there's mindset. Losses are inevitable, but how you respond to them defines you. A fixed mindset spirals. I lost. I'm a failure. A growth mindset learns. I lost. What can I take from this? Losses are tuition, not punishment. Every loss is data. Every mistake is feedback. If you see it that way, you don't just survive trading. You grow in it. And now let's bring it home. If you want to build an unfair advantage in the markets, it's not about finding the holy grail indicator. It's about mastering yourself. Start with a lifestyle audit. Ask yourself, where are my saboteurs? Is it sleep, diet, stress, hydration? Write them down. Be brutally honest. Then, don't overhaul everything at once. Start small. Pick one change. Sleep 30 minutes earlier. Drink an extra glass of water. Take one mindful pause before entering a trade. These small changes compound, just like capital. Over time, they transform you. Most traders will ignore this. They'll chase new strategies, new signals, new hacks. But those who master themselves will find they don't need more tools, they need more clarity. The market rewards clarity. It rewards patience. It rewards resilience. And those don't come from charts. They come from lifestyle. Remember Daniel, the trader who kept losing? Once he realized his habits were his downfall, he made changes. Slowly at first. More sleep, better food, breaks during trading, a workout routine. And over time, his trading transformed. Not because he learned something new about the market, but because he learned something new about himself. The silent saboteurs were silenced, and his edge was restored. So here's my challenge to you. This week, find one silent saboteur in your own life, just one, and commit to changing it. Because trading isn't just about strategies. It's about survival. And the ones who survive, the ones who thrive, are not just the most skilled, but the most disciplined in every part of their lives. Your edge is waiting. It's not on the chart. It's in you. And it begins with the choices you make today.